Hello again, this is Tony from Ensemble Manager, and this is a continuation of our contracts video tutorials. In the last one, we had kind of a broad overview with an introduction. In this one, we're going to get into how to make a template and how that whole system works. So we're going to want to get to this portal, our contracts portal. You can get there by going season contracts. We'll get you here. You don't need to be assigned to a season to create a template. You can just be in the portal. So we're going to go from view to templates. You'll see that currently I have no templates at all. So this is going to be a new one. So we've written new. Now, the first thing you have is these two windows up here. They are required. The friendly name is just something so you can kind of keep track of what you're doing because you will create lots of templates and you'll get lost into which one is which. So this is just a name for you. I'm going to call it template one for now. This always defaults to season name, hashtag season, first name, last name, hashtag. And of course, you can change that to whatever you want to. Now, here's your typical text editor. I mean, you can type in and create a contract. But of course, no one does that. It would take forever to do it in here. Most people just paste it in. So, and you'll take it from a Word document or maybe a PDF that you have. That's kind of the norm. So we're gonna do it that way. I just created kind of this dummy contract to so we can kind of use it as an experiment. Okay, so I'm gonna paste this in, and you can see I've got a general contract here. Now, I want to talk about this first because I get a lot of emails about this. I want to show you something. Now you'll notice it's pretty much the same, but not exactly the same. Like my fonts are a little bit different. I got the line breaks in there. I got the bolds, wherever there's a list, the basic contract, but some of the things are missing. Well, there's a reason for that. And I just want to kind of educate some of my users. Whenever you're copying something from another platform, PDF, Word document, website, one of the things you need to understand is all of those platforms use different code to make something look the way that it is. It's not like universal, no, by no means. And a lot of times I'll get emails from people saying, oh, this isn't working. And I'll track it down to they copied some text off of another website, stuck it in their website, didn't realize they had copied some code, and now it's breaking the website. So that's happened in the past. And so to manage that, I've created a function in this text editor that will strip out anything that it thinks it doesn't really need. And that will prevent any breakage or any problems in the future. So just because something doesn't look the same, just realize that that's why that is. Once it is in here, you can always go in and change it. Like if you want to change a font or a font size, you can change it manually. But just the basic import, copying, pasting will strip out some things. Okay, so we have our basic contract, typical text editor like we've all seen before. We got our basic bold italic. We can create lists. We can do all this. Pretty much standard. I'm sure all of you have done this before. Font size, font family. It's this piece right over here that's different than anything you've ever seen before. So this is what we're going to talk about. All right, so the first thing is let's say I paste this in and oh, I got to start all over again. Now you can do the typical copy and paste delete. You can do that, but sometimes you may not get everything out because I'll get an email like I deleted everything, but there's still this thing that is bold that just I can't get rid of. It's probably because there's some code that's behind there that the select all is not catching. So I'll put this icon right here. This is a clear editor. What this will do is literally purge everything out of that editor. So if I click that, I literally am starting from fresh. So that's what this icon is. Now I talked about if you import something, you may copy some gibberish that you don't mean to. If you want to strip literally everything out of it, you can use this icon. This is the paste content. So let's take that same contract, paste it in here. And now I'm going to paste code. And now you can see literally everything is stripped out. I mean, I have my basic line breaks, but anything other than that, it's gone. So this is a way you can literally strip out all your code. So I'm going to make sure I got everything out, and I'm going to paste this back in the way I did before. All right, so now we're going to start from this. Now, first thing that a lot of people want to do, they want to make the contract look nice, so they want to put in a logo. And you can do that. I'm going to give myself a little space, put my cursor here, and let's talk about this first icon right here, insert file. This will insert a file, literally any file. If you want to insert a PDF, this is where you go to do it. You can insert a Word document if you want to, and it will create a link that'll link to that document. But in this case, I'm going to insert an image. So I created like a little logo for myself. So I'm going to go ahead and paste this in. And right away, you can see it's way, way too big for me. All right. So no problem. What I can do is I'm going to click on this, click on my image, and you'll see this pop up. And it will allow me to resize this. So I'm going to resize it, kind of get it looking nice. That looks pretty good. Okay. And, that's not bad. We could keep it that way. But if you want to center it, you simply highlight it and click your center icon here, and it'll center it for me. Or I can click it, keep it aligned to the left. So for now, I'm just going to keep it aligned left. I think that looks pretty nice. Okay, now let's start filling this in, filling in the contract. In the previous video, I talked about our hashtag system. Now, this is where this comes in really handy. All right, you notice in our contract, we've got right here, right off the bat, musician's name. This is where the musician's name would go. So I'm going to put my hashtag F name, hashtag L name, and there's my musician. For address, I'm going to put in my address information. And then for instrument, right here, I can put in my hashtag instrument. And remember, we talked about this in another video. If you want a list of all the instruments the musician plays, simply put hashtag instruments. If you want their primary instrument, you're going to use this one, hashtag instrument at 1. If I put a 2, it puts the second on the list, third on the list, and so forth and so on. So it's up to you how you want to do that. All right, so here's going to be my status, right? So I'm going to put hashtag status. And then as we go on, here's my payroll. So this is where the musician shall be paid a fee of, this is where you would have to insert it manually because everybody's going to be different. But if you set up your member defaults, I can simply put in hashtag payroll. And that's going to take the rate that I've been assigned in my defaults. Okay, so now we've got the basics set up. Now let's go down here and look at some other things we got. All right, so this is kind of common. You'll put in a contract, go and close this, of special information that you'll need. A very common one is, what name would you like to be used in the program? Very common question. You can do this and have to fill it in, but if we use this question function, we can take advantage of this. So I'm going to take and cut out my question, and I'm going to do it this way. I'm going to make this a text input, and it inserts a text input box right there. Now, I'm going to click my edit button. It's going to pop this up, and I'm going to put my question there. Placeholder is this little thing you see here. So I'm looking for their name. I'm going to put that. If you wanted to make this a required field, you could do that by clicking required. But for now, I'm just going to keep this the way that it is. I'm going to click save. And you can see it changed this to preferred name to be used in program. And then for dietary preference, let's take that one. I'm going to copy this out. I'm going to remove this because I'm going to replace it with something else. And that would be a really good one for like a drop down. I want to drop down and they can select from the drop down which one they are. So I'm going to select that one. You can see I got a drop down now. And I'm going to go into edit mode, put my question there. And so I have, this is, you'll see option value. Now, there's going to be other places, we'll talk about this in some other tutorials. We'll use the same kind of approach. Some surveys, you can create web pages where you can actually also do this kind of thing in that. So the option you see is going to be the text that you see. So for example, I say none. And then the value is going to be what you're going to see when it prints out. So if I want to just see none lowercase, I would type that in. If you want to see exactly what's is in the text, type in the same thing. For now, just to kind of show you, I'm going to type in this with a lowercase. So then we have vegetarian, and then vegetarian. And then I need to add another one because I'm going to add vegan. Vegan. And again, if I wanted to make this required, I could click required, but I'm going to go save. Okay. And then also you saw that if I hover over this, it kind of throws into edit mode. If you need to delete this, don't highlight it and delete it because there's code behind the scenes and you may miss some of that. The best way to do is go into edit mode and delete it like this. This will ensure that you've completely deleted it. This is a copy. Let's say you like, oh, I don't want to put that there. I want to put it somewhere else. Again, it's not a good idea to select and copy this because you may miss something. The best thing to do is copy it from here, and that way you are ensuring that you're really copying everything. So you click copy, delete, then put it back, and then paste it back in with your just your paste function on your keyboard. All right, so we're gonna leave that. We'll close out of this. All right, so now we've got this. Now, there's another thing. Let's say, for example, I'm sending out the contract and I want to know can they play all the concert series they've been assigned to? So let's say you have an October series, a November series, a December series, and they've been contracted for all of those. So in the contract, I want to ask them, do you accept or decline to play each one of these concerts? So in the past, that's really a difficult thing to do, but with this, it's really simple. You're going to put wherever you want this question to be, put your cursor there, and you're going to click this, Insert Service Count. Okay, so what this is anything they have been assigned to, it's going to put a question there. So it's going to look something like this. Now, since this is generic, every person is going to be different. It's just got a generic placeholder for now, but you'll see a radio button has accept, radio button has decline, and we'll have the name of the concert here. We'll show you that in another video. Okay, now let's go on. Now, signatures, very common in a contract. In this example, we have to have the administrator's signature here and the musician's signature. This can also be done in a contract portal. So I'm going to remove this because this will all be handled with this guy, your signature insert. So I'm going to insert a signature. And so this is always going to default to that person's signature. So again, it's using the hashtag F name, hashtag last name. So when this generates a contract, it'll put that person's name in this box. And we'll talk about how this works in another video. You'll get to see this in action. Okay, this is going to be a different signature, although it's going to be a signature. So I'm going to click my signature icon again. And again, it's going to default to that person's name, but I want this to be the administrator, all right? So I'm going to go into edit mode, and it's going to give me a drop-down menu. Now, the person who, like maybe it's your executive director or your operations manager, and they need to sign it. So they need to be an administrator in the system, so this will see it. So, and I've set up Sebastian Arpeggio. He's going to be my executive director. So I'm going to click that, click save. And you can see this just now changed to his name. So he's the person who has to sign this. So now I have my basic contract ready to go. And I'm going to click save. There you go. So this is how you do a template. Next video, we're going to talk about how to populate, how to delete, and some other details about this.